Hey Patreon, once again guys, thank you for your support. So hey, I want to go ahead and talk about a formation that I'm going to be blending into this Tampa Bay Buccaneers playbook. It's going to be the singleback tight Y off flex, similar to the singleback tight Y off that we were using previously in the Minnesota playbook. But this has actually got better complement plays opposed to that Minnesota playbook. And we're going to use this as kind of like a first down formation because this is going to allow us to run the ball very effectively. We've got some pretty good passing schemes to go with it. Now, I took a look at all the audibles, and I think I've isolated it down to a couple of audibles that we're going to use. First and foremost, we're going to leave the stick spacing in place. I like this because it's got little stick routes that you can go ahead and quick do an audible into, and then we're going to have a play we're going to try to expose our opponent over the top. One play that's very unique to this formation is going to be the EO1 trap. This allows us to go ahead and run backside, building off of the wide zone play that we're going to be using in this game. Another great play is going to be the under Z curl. This is a really good play to go ahead and use, a quick snap or two. And then another great play here is going to be the shallow cross, which really works very effectively for us and when we've got that basically corner stop route that is extremely effective against any kind of like match coverage, man coverages. Now, out of the huddle, I've looked at a bunch of different plays, and hands down, I want to try to abuse my opponent with the wide zone. So we're going to show you how this particular play works and kind of build the entire scheme around it. And we're just going to go against random nickel defenses. You might have a little bit heavier defenses and stuff like that. Now, how I like to run this play is I like to go ahead and take the outside receiver and motion him across. And then I'm going to go ahead and snap the ball as soon as he gets to the tight end and try to hit the ball to the outside. If you got a guy that actually carries, you can go ahead and maybe jump out of it, jump into a different play. But really what I'm doing is I'm motioning over, snapping the ball once I get inside the tackle, and try to get the leverage with the blocking to the outside. And when you've got a fast running back like I do, you can go house with it. So let's just go and show this once again. How this run play is really effective, really good against double A gaps because it's going to out leverage defenders, but we'll snap the ball. Once we get to the outside of the tackle, you can see right here I'm actually picking up a good 10 yards or more, and if I make a good move with that. So with the previous formation that we're using, I used to try to go ahead and kind of like motion this guy in and just quick snap it and go to the outside. But what's cool about this here play is that you've got this great in 0-1 trap that is going to go ahead and pull the defender to another direction. So we're going to go ahead and jump into 0-1 trap. And ideally what we want to do is we want to try to attack our opponent on the backside. So we'll flip that trap where the guard from the right side goes to the left. And we're going to motion this guy over and just snap the ball real quick. And what this does is it pulls another guard out there in that area. But what this does is that once your opponent starts seeing that you're actually going ahead and motioning these guys over and running to the outside, they're going to over pursue. And now you can hit this guy with the trap play where you're actually going to get really glitchy blocking that these guys go up to the next level. So we're going to go and jump into this, flip it to the backside, motion snap, then go ahead and just snap the ball. And this will allow you to go and attack your opponent right up the middle of the field. So now you got your two-headed rushing attack. Sometimes you can bounce it to the outside, but what's cool about this here play is that it's just a really nice little running play that you can use in your scheme to get that outside run, and then you've got an inside run that you can blend into this scheme. Now, from a passing standpoint, I left stick spacing, and this is going to be a play that I'm going to go ahead and motion over. And what I like to do is I like to take the outside receiver, the zero receiver, and put him on a deep post. And my hot reads are going to be Hill and then the running back Arcane if there's any kind of man blitz, because a lot of times these guys are going to stick down in the middle of the field like that. So they're going to be the areas I'm going to go to. The running back on the outside too, with that little wing route, might out leverage defender, and you can actually hit that guy to the outside and get a good move against the defender. You actually do that. Sometimes he might have to use that running back route away, so it's just another way to attack your opponent. But what I'm setting up with this is I've got a flat spot concept, and I also have this deep post by Barrios. Now the post takes a long time to develop, but if you get it, you can get yourself a huge play going across the formation like that. So that's what I like about it. It's a nice little thing that you can blend into the scheme. I tried putting other guys in other corner routes or post routes. I didn't really like it too much. The stick flat route on the backside, I really don't look to that. Really, it's the inside routes that I'm looking at. I'm looking at this little spot route. I'm looking at the wing route, and then actually the post route. And I usually do, if I do have a 3-high shell where I get a single high safety, I'm going to be looking for that post is going to be the area I want to go to, because if I get that one-on-one, you'll be able to get a nice little completion. Now, Barrios is notorious for dropping balls against good defensive backs. Now, here's a good play right here. This is going to be a play that we're going to take a look at. Let's see if we can get the art up. Basically, it's a quick snap play. I'm going to go ahead and just drag up my tight end, and I'm looking at Hill on the one-on-one, and basically going ahead and have a mesh concept underneath it. So the reason I like to do the drag route underneath is that when I do the drag route, it basically gives me just a check down against any kind of heavy pressure that I can use against my opponent. And then sometimes if the guys float up, you can do that. You got a nice little curls concept on the back side that you can use against your opponent too. So you got the curl concept with Barrios that you can hit if the defender pulls out, and you've also got basically the drag underneath it. So that's what I do like about this. I like about this particular play, and why I like to keep it into the scheme is that you got the corner. If you get the man-on-man, he gets a really good break, and you can get yourself a one-play touchdown if there's no safety over the top of that. So I just kind of keep this thing in just because it's a really good play to go and use. It's fast reads, that type of stuff. Problem with it is that you're under center, so if he does do a very aggressive man blitz, you have to make your reads really quick and force it in there. Usually want to go underneath. I'm not going to throw into a coverage like that, but let's see if we can get it to Barrios. If we get the single coverage, okay. So I'm not getting the single coverage, so I'm going to go ahead and check it down to this underneath route on the backside. Now, the last pass play we're going to use in this formation is going to be this play, the shell across. You can run this thing stock, and the reason why you can run it stock is you can look for waddle underneath, but this generally will always get cleared out and give you an easy completion. But what I really love about this particular play, which is going to be this shell across, is Hill's route, that stop and go corner. It just gets in kind of like a glitchy area of zone coverages, and also it beats man coverages too, because that corner stop is just arguably one of the most dangerous plays that you can use against your opponent. It's just very, very difficult to stop, and you're always going to get body positioned against your opponent. Now, the deep posts I typically don't go after, so it's not something I normally do. But you can look to that, and a lot of times what's going to happen is that little hitch might go ahead and fall open. So you can see pretty much everything's locked up. I should have went to the flats right away. I didn't read that correctly, and that's why that play was locked up. I was trying to force something in the middle, trying to explain that to you, but that's just one of those things. But obviously you can check it down to the flats just to kind of stretch your opponent horizontally. This whole formation is all designed about using this running play. So it's about using this running play right here and snapping that ball, trying to get leverage to the outside so you can get that run. And what's cool about this shallow cross play more than anything else is that you can go ahead and run that pass play as an option to the run to give your opponent some sugarcoating. And basically what you do is you make your progressions from left to right. If you get the one-on-one coverages, you look for the stop route, but you got the drag route underneath. So let's jump into recent replays and show you that if you get the time, you can get this. So this route against one-on-one coverage, you can throw that on the break, knowing that he's going to come back to it. You got this little hitch that kind of sticks right here. And also you can see this flat was wide open and would have been an easy completion. So once again, guys, thanks for your support. I'm going to go ahead and jump into some more play breakdowns on some of the labs I'm doing. So thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.